Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing our Saturday night main event predictions. Now, as it stands right now, it is 2:46 in Australia on a Saturday. So we haven't had our last SmackDown, so there could be other matches. Now let's get into it. Now I'm going to predict who's going to win and predict what's going to happen. First match, Danhausen versus JD McDonough. I think it's an interesting concept that it's a no disqualification match, including that we have Kit Wilson and The Miz and Dom all potentially get involved. I think JD's shot from a couple of weeks ago is gonna get involved in this match. Like it's gonna start playing that into effect. The fact they didn't go to hospital and then it could potentially mean the end of Judgment Day. I personally don't like Judgment Day since Finn left. It kind of started going down a little bit because it was the same segments, and all of that. I just didn't like it. Brie Bella Page versus Fatal Influence in Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed. I think Fallon and Lainey are going to win this. I think Brie and Paige are going to split up. I think it's going to be a Brie Bella turn on Paige, including that it was only a couple months before Paige showed up that she turned heel. Um, Give me 1 second. I can tell you correctly when that was. Um, yeah, it was around about 8 months ago, so probably only 4 months before Paige showed up that she turned heel. 4 to 5 months. But either way, I think Bree's turning heel on Paige after Nikki gets back. Or it'll be, Nikki and Bree teaming up and they'll kind of kick Paige out of the picture because, Paige is a returning superstar, yeah, yeah, yeah. She doesn't deserve the title. Anyway, our second tag team match for the night, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. I think Nick Aldis will get involved in this. I think this will be the start of Nick Aldis saying, I'm not being GM anymore. I'm coming back to in ring, and he's going to start a whole thing on it. I think Punk's turning on Cody, Cody's turning on Punk, someone's turning on someone. I haven't personally been interested in this rivalry, and that's saying a lot because Punk and Cody are two of my favorite wrestlers. I think their story needs more. I know they've kind of been setting this up for a while now, but it's to the point where I'm kind of getting worried they're gonna give it to Cody again. And I don't want that because what they've seen, what it seems like they're doing is they've seen like everyone that showed up for Cody at um, WrestleMania 40 is turning on him. Like everyone that was there, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, CM Punk, everyone that was surrounding Cody is going to be is rivaling with him, and there's like LA Knight left. There's I think Jay left. There's a couple left. I don't know. I don't really want to see it. If they're gonna do those rivals, I kind of want to see it without the title. Like Seth. Seth wasn't for the title. Seth was well. It was for the Crown Jewel title, but it wasn't for a WWE Championship, and I kind of enjoy that. But I have a feeling that it will be, um, Seth loses to Roman. Roman goes on. Seth kind of crosses over to, uh, SmackDown, and then it sets up a potential Mania match for Cody. Because Seth, the only way Seth was able to beat Cody was from cheating, and then it was, and or it's going to be an interesting thing factor of Cody and Seth have both won the Crown Jewel Championship, and they're going to both, face off for the biggest person to be Crown Jewel champion. I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, I think they need to make the story with Punk and Cody more interesting, but we'll see. Lyra and Bailey, I think Lyra needs to get this win. If she doesn't, I can't see it working from there. You know, I think Lyra will come on top. If not, I think this will fall flat. I think Lyra's gonna take out Bailey. If she doesn't, I don't see this working because it's a good concept of you know she thinking she's in Bailey's shadow when she's thinking that Bailey gets everything, but you could see Lyra getting the title shot and all of this stuff. It's an interesting thing. I don't know right now. There was a, there's this Brian Page match or Lara and Bailey match. I think we need Becky. Becky showing up. We don't need it, but it would be good to see her show up. Um, I think it more Brie Page match and for her influence. I think it would be good to see Brie Page teaming up with Becky to go against not team yeah teaming up with Becky to go against Fatal Influence. But we'll just have to see in time. WWE champion Roman Reigns and New York Knicks. I think Seth's going to get involved, and I think this is going to be where it's going to get interesting. Would love to hear Jalen turn around and say we're giving credit to Danhausen because Danhausen, the whole curse thing, whatever. I think Seth's going to come up and hit Roman in the back with the chair. I think we're going to have the Shield flashback. I think we're on the road to saying goodbye to one of them, and that is what I'm upset to say. I'm sad to say, kind of. Not upset to say, sad to say. Now, I'm going to be giving my SummerSlam predictions, but I'm going to get more closer to SummerSlam because there's still a couple potential matches out of all of these that could be on it. I will be probably taking a couple of days off from recording on here, and I'll probably be just doing streaming on the Purple app. And we might do one or two videos. We'll still do my little playthrough of 2K playing every PLE. And we will be signing off. I will try to get as much out as I can. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's my predictions.